P is for Patron. Be me. Buy V homebrew. Be DM for once. Have as party La Rogue, La Sorceress, La Barbarian, La Ranger. See distinct lack of tank and healer. See overwhelming squishiness in test sessions, before plot and before characters have any strength. Decide to introduce DMPC that I can phase out as plot progresses and characters are less squishy. Or one of them fucking dies and rerolls. Decide to put a twist on an age-old story. Party is following up on bounty to clear out local orc camp. Rogue, due to perception, picked up on rumor as last sod that volunteered never came back. Damn shame. Figure it might be a rescue mission and obvious plot hook, and these players love a good story as much as I do. Party makes decent progress into Stronghold and into Blood Pit sort of arena. Sitting in a cage is a younger man I described as Geralt of Rivia if he'd been born in a kind world. Not a rugged hunter, but just a bright-eyed, pale-haired, noble-looking dude in chainmail sitting in prayer. Meet Werner. Party is surrounded in Blood Pit. Chieftain comes out to gloat. Prep for slaughter. Pretty boy calls out from the cage. I challenge you, Chieftain. Proper character introduction time. I will stand with these four against you, and your choice of champions, for honor and power. Figure it's a good way to learn to operate as a team, and so the chieftain and his two lieutenants open the cage and square off against the party with their new paladin buddy. Barbarian and Ranger steal the show with some rule of cool crits, and Werner makes the killing blow against the chieftain. Be Oath of Vengeance. Party gets to lootin'. Werner declares, your chieftain and his lieutenants lie dead by our hands. You are to leave these lands. But should you seek to reclaim glory, march west. The Shieldbreaker tribe awaits you in the shadow of Mount Cursed. To Party, drop all stern-faced nobility and go into full-on grateful glee. Bless you. Bless each and every one of you. I can only hold that sort of bravado for so long. All of you have my deepest gratitude, and in exile though I may be, I owe you all at the very least good drink and food before you collect your justly earned rewards. Forward to tavern where the party collects their bounty, and they're bought the food and drink. They can practically see the quest giver icon above Werner, and get the proper backstory. I was the only son of my family. We held a modest kingdom to the west. I blame myself for being too trusting, but we were betrayed. The families of the lower court rose up in a bloody purge. In shame, I ran, and have been working to find allies, build power to reclaim my homeland. But I'm no fool. The coffers of my kingdom are denied to me, and I would never ask adventurers to fight for the promise of coin alone. They pass every insight check to see he is a completely earnest and grateful noble, and so start the main quest, and start to notice a few things throughout campaigning. Werner speaks most of the beast tribe languages fluently, Orcish, kobolds, goblins, and so on. He is a blushing schoolboy around the infernally bloodline sorceress, who seems to reciprocate. He is a dutiful tank/healer, but damn if his spells aren't particularly offensive. Makes a habit out of trying to gain control of tribes and groups, rather than outright murder. Reveals as they approach the outskirts of his kingdom's territory a few months later that he has been at work for a few years doing that, made much easier having new and truest friends at his side. The bestial army is awaiting their war chief south of the border. Has some nice darkened plate armor, and adorns a wicked-looking helmet. I gained the allegiance of these tribes by honoring their traditions. And if it is their tradition for the one who gathered the army to wear this helmet, I shall not disrespect them in such a manner. Party realizes they're going to storm a kingdom with a dark-plated paladin of vengeance, who had an orcish army at his side with the intent of seizing the throne. Rogue finally asks, "Wait, are we the baddies?" Insight again reveals that Werner sees them as his best friends from the bottom of his heart. "My friends, I know the thought of war is terrible, and with luck it shall be done quickly. You've helped me get this far. Will you stand with me still?" The party deliberates. He's been nothing but good to them. Plus, he is a general bro, and has been keeping the orcs and such from pillaging villages. Ranger says the damning thing. "It's just one kingdom." Cue a siege. Cue an infiltration through the city streets. Cue storming the castle. Cue execution of traitor families. Establish Werner as Emperor Werner Cursed von Dietrich the Returned. Embrace party as noble heroes who restored him to the throne. Set to work integrating all of those beast tribes into the populace. Set about building Kingdom up as new multicultural center of civilization. Permanent invitation to party to consider the Grand Keep home between their adventures, as Werner's responsibilities will keep him largely relegated to the throne for some time. So, party has new home base, and is strong enough to go solo. But Werner always has jobs for them in the name of security and safety, and always paid more than fairly. He fucking loves those guys. So, party adventures, and notices things each time they come back. First time they returned, many red banners were draped around the keep and city with a crest of scales weighing a fanged skull and a human skull in equal balance. It is a symbol of our new civilization of equality and understanding. The next time, there's construction of a large black spire in the center of the city. The tribal warlocks and I have been in discussion, and we've found a way to channel the sun's very energy into nearly free energy and power for the people. It turns out the color black absorbs the heat better, and so while a bit garish, it will improve the quality of life for everyone here immensely. The rogue starts getting uncomfortable. Next visit, tower is complete. Ominous red banners flickering in the wind. Banners popping up in villages further and further out. It is my duty as Emperor to make sure that all within my borders are safe and secure. I shall not be one of those reclusive, self-absorbed leaders who would let his people suffer, no matter how far away they might be. True enough, banditry and shit is at an all-time low. But Werner is now wearing black and red finery and some grim imagery, and has large portraits being spread in every village, so that my people never have to fear that they've been forgotten or neglected. Insight rolls and he still super means it. Main threat is the Dragonborn up in the mountains, which he hopes his dearest champions will be able to handle. Ranger is uncomfortable. But I would never send you into any sort of danger unprepared. As such, I had our artisans and smiths craft for each of you enchanted arms and armor. Ranger is no longer uncomfortable. Go full Wizard of Oz. To Barbarian. For you, my mighty friend, I've had commissioned an axe that shall transfer the strength of your foes into your own person. I know your rage is one of your mightiest weapons. As such, I would see that your enemies fall long before you ever will. Toss in some spiked light armor as well. To Rogue. You, old chum, are the cleverest, slyest, most true gentleman I've had the pleasure of fighting alongside. For you, I had my warlocks pluck the essence of shadow, and fold it into a cloak so that danger shall never find you. If you were ever hurt, I do not know what I would do with myself. Sure, it made him look like a whore when activating the effect, but damn, it's nice. To the Ranger. My friend, your bond with nature, I am sure, would put many a druid to shame. Never has there been a more fierce huntress or a keener eye. And thus, only a bow made of dragon bone and black powder arrows is worthy of you. Ranger is not sure whether to be uncomfortable. To the sorceress, trying not to blush. And you, my dear, it may not be a secret that I am loath to see you go every time. But I know in you there's an adventurous spirit that cannot be tamed. And so I count my blessings every time you return here. For you, I bequeath a family heirloom, so that your power never ceases to grow. An amulet of some wonder. I pray that it keeps you safe until you return to me. Gives her an amulet that lets her convert the soul of a fallen enemy into an equal-leveled spell slot. 1 enemy for a first level, 2 for a second, etc. With a degeneration rate of 1 soul per week. Alternatively, 8 souls could be 2 4th-level spell slots. Not that I'm encouraging my party to be murder hobos, but Sorceress is super-duper comfortable. Next adventure they return from, there are smaller spires in villages popping up. The luxuries of the capital should not be restricted to the capital. That, and we are working on setting up a portal network through each of the spires. That way, no village, no town nor city shall ever go unprotected. Ranger says, "It's still just one country." Decide to see how far I can push this. Send a summons to my champions. Be distraught Emperor Werner. Be hunched over map of empire and surrounding kingdoms and territories. Year or 2 has passed in-game. My friends, truly the crown has never weighed so heavily. My people are happy and flourishing. Our cities are expanding. The tribes continue to learn and join civilization. But therein lies the problem. Resources are beginning to run thin. I've sent envoys and invited foreign dignitaries to open trade, but all are loath to deal with us due to what I can only consider to be a speciesism that flies in the face of all rationality and civility. And yet I have a duty to my people. I see that we have a higher standard of living than all of our neighbors, and they stockpile resources that we could share and all profit from. The ranger and rogue start getting uncomfortable. Werner starts pacing around the map, cape trailing, arms folded, skull-themed crown a new addition to honor the new traditions. I have purchased the acquisition of copies of ledgers, and I know that there is more than enough for everyone if they would only trade. And yet, I refuse to let my people down. So I ask you, my friends who I trust as family, which of my neighbors should I spread my reach to first? The party deliberates. The rogue asks, "Werner, what if we tried to stop you?" Me rolling a nat 1 on insight. Be wide-eyed and shocked and hurt. Why, I'd be devastated. Completely and utterly heartbroken. After all we've been through. I adore you all as kin and... Oh, you old cad. You sly, I see what you did there. That's such a ludicrous idea. You have a roundabout way of trying to boost my spirits, my friend. But it worked. Gods, I'm lucky to have been saved by you all. The party is half guilted, half bribed into leading an invasion force. Not the first or last time. By near end of campaign, the Empire had spread over half the continent, black spires rising in every major trade hub, allowing Imperial forces quick access to any potential threat, while also pushing every new conquest into Magtech high fantasy. Party getting reputation as the Overlord's chosen. Keep showering them in appropriate high-end but super fucking menacing gear and rewards for their quests and loyalty. Follow the evil Overlord checklist to the letter. Party getting up near level 20. have them allying with / putting down dragons, so that we might benefit from their wisdom and never risk those that would seek chaos and not else. Barbarian is my field war chief and loving it. Rogue is less spy master and more the black hand of the Emperor and best stabby friend. Ranger is the mistress of the hunt, helps find any criminals or foreign insurgents, or any corrupt leaders who might give the Emperor a bad name. Surprise, surprise, insurgents are all fucking foreign. Werner fucking adores his subjects, and his ultimate dad friend to his empire. Sorceress pretty much decided to be Mrs. Evil Overlord when she gets tired of the adventuring life. Also has gotten good at perma-charming any disloyal viceroys. Created new alignment. Friendly evil. All hail the BFFEG. TLDR. Convinced my party to help an evil overlord with overwhelming friendliness and compassion. If you enjoyed today's story, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below with any other stories you want to hear from me in the future. I love you all, and until next time.